Doesn't sound too bad there in the mix. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I got some of this work done here on this recording. Now the first thing I'm going to do is set up my mixing board. Obviously, I'm not using my sends F through J. As you can see right here, this is F through J right here in this little area here. See my cursor there. So I go here right here to the bottom of my mixing board here, and it says here sends F through J. I'll click on that. A check mark is there. Now it's unchecked, and we don't have it anymore. You can see the entire mixing session that I am using. And you'll see here I've got the kick, snare, hi-hat, hi-hat 2, open hi-hat, which is the OHH, the shaker, tambourine, the crash. And I have a drum verb right here. So I'll play back some of this from the top. Now you see in my mixing, normally I'll try to mix the drums up. Not every drum is going to be down center of the middle. It's going to be go stereo left or right. So we're going to have this effect. We have this stereo drum field going on. So I've got the kick drum dead center. It's mostly the pulse of the music. I have my snare there, a little bit right, a little bit left, to give that off center to it. And I want to have the hi-hats. I have two hi-hats in this case. I'll have one little right, one little left. But I'll probably keep my open hi-hat a little more center. And I've got a shaker here, which I can go maybe a little left, a tambourine a little right. I got a crash, which I may even just throw back and forth through a different spot every now and then in the mix, so to keep the head going. And now you'll see I have a kick drum here. Now, here on the kick drum track, I've got an EQ and a compressor. Let's play this back. I'll solo it. So get all the tracks soloed. See that? So now, as you can see here, we've got all the drums here. You can see that they're already lined up to a group. So I can go to here, I go to my group here, and now you'll see they're no longer lined to that group. Now I can go back in, turn it back on again, unsolo, go back to group, then solo itself. It's important to know that when you're going to solo something, if it's a part of a group, turn the group off first, then solo the instrument. Now here you'll see in this case, I've got the EQ first and the compressor behind that. Which is a really great way to have this stuff, because you normally see that way in a mixing board. You'll see a EQ first, then the compressor. So what I did here, I want to get more punch from that kick drum. And I want to make sure the kick drum blends in with the bass line. So I put the bass line here. I want to make sure when I've got both of them going at the same time, I can hear the difference. They're both going to be in the bass frequency. And it's important for you to have that differentiation between the two elements in the mix. Once that's straight, I create a little compressor here. I've got the EQ below that. So I'm trying to make this thing pop a little more. And you notice here also on my drum mix, I've got very little reverb on the kick drum, practically none. But on the snare drum, I have more. I want to have more of this ambient sound on the snare drum. There's a love song. I want to make sure it stands out a little more in the background, providing this counterpoint pulse between the bass drum and the snare drum. It's my basic hi-hat right here, the first one. The second one has a little more ting-tick to it. So I keep it a little bit below that one. Here's my open hi-hat, shaker. And then we got this crash cymbal here at the end. I want to get this balance between the drums all together here, as you can see. And some are EQ'd, some aren't. And that's the idea of this mix here, as you can see. So they're all lined up, and they're heading to this one reverb, as you can see right here. And this reverb here is my drum verb, which is a D verb I have right here. And I have these sends going there. And I can close this little window for my list and group window. And I can look at these drum verbs. By just going here, let's go to view. And I want to see just that particular send assignment A. And now I can see and I can adjust my verb according to where I want it and the pan of every drum element in this mix.